And push 2. Dissolve.
Thanks for joining us tonight on 8 News Now as we spend the next half hour honoring Black history. I'm Bianca Holman. We're going to share with you exciting things that are underway right here in our community and the nation, meant to celebrate and advocate. We start tonight with the impact of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. right here at
Sound
home.
B, dissolve to B.
If we don't understand our history, then we can't move forward to the future.
27
For Las Vegas
package
Councilman
out queue
Cedric
this year.
Creer, history is everything. He was born and raised in the historic West Side and has seen its change. Much of that change is inspired by the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Knowing the history of Las Vegas, knowing that it was a very segregated city, it wasn't until 1960 with the signing of the Moulin Rouge Agreement that we desegregated the Las Vegas Strip. I know Dr. King came here often to fight for people's rights, fight for equality, and we need to understand that and recognize that.
Leading up to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day and days after, there are events celebrating the life and legacy of one of America's greatest civil rights leaders. Leaders want to ensure the Valley's Black history is preserved. The historic Westside Legacy Park was recently revealed. Located on MLK and Lake Mead, it honors 36 trailblazers and more will be added throughout the years. This park is just the beginning of all the work planned for the area.
The landscape of the historic West Side in the next 5 to 10 years will be completely different to what it is now. I think we'll have advancements in our housing development that are taking place. We'll have more restaurants.
15.
We'll have other businesses taking place.
There are more plans to re-energize the neighborhood by making it look beautiful and hiring the people who live there. Construction on the Workforce Development Center next to the historic West Side School will begin later this year.
Mike Bianca, push 2, dissolve to 2.
And we mentioned the historic West Side Legacy Park, so here's a closer look. It was dedicated in December. It serves as a tribute to the many trailblazers who have led the community through the years. It includes the stories of dozens of leaders that have had a lasting impact. Mayor Carolyn Goodman was among the many leaders on hand that day.
And wait to sound a D.
It is wonderful.
24 seconds. It's just a saw. We'll be back out to 2
our younger generation has to understand this. You owe the grandparents and the great-grandparents and everybody that's no longer with us, but maybe in a better place. But
5
to make
seconds.
this community shine like it never has before.
Mike Bianca, push 2, dissolve to 2.
One thing that's in place now in the historic West Side is an agricultural park and food co-op. The Local Foods and Local Places program got underway in June of last year. The location in the historic West Side was one of 13 locations in the country for the program. Many say this is a springboard for other good things.
I like to sound a B.
Businesses.
6 seconds. Continue.
We need to help these people with these houses. We need to get these abandoned lots cleaned up.
Mike and Q Bianca.
All 13 communities are working with a team of federal, state, and regional experts to develop a community-led action plan to strengthen the local food system.
Push 2, take 2.
So you can't look at the history of African Americans here in Las Vegas without looking back at the Moulin Rouge.
Dissolve to C.
The casino and hotel opened in 1955 when casinos on the Strip were segregated. Legendary performers such as Sammy Davis Jr., Nat King Cole, Louis Armstrong, and Harry Belafonte took the stage there. It also sparked a civil rights meeting in March in 1960 that led to the beginning of the end of segregation in hotels and casinos.
Push 2, dissolve to 2.
You know, dancing expresses emotions. It communicates a message. It's an important artistic expression in the Black community. The Contemporary West Dance Theater in Las Vegas is preserving it in its highest form.
And dissolve to D.
It's the same thing of
when
you're standing in a wing and about to go on, and I'm like this.
Whew. Dancing is freedom. Dancing gives purpose. Dancing gives truth.
And I don't have a CG time
to look beautiful and to, have my work match the quality of the artist that I have.
Dancer and choreographer Bernard Gaddis and ballerina Charmaine Hunter created Contemporary West Dance Theater in 2007.
You cannot have or call it a major city without having the arts in it, the fine arts. And it's different. The fine arts is what trains these people to be in all of these huge shows.
Gaddis began his career as a teen in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He
Pull me
danced
out
with
to 2
Philadelphia,
monitor for the
Cirque
T's. T's will
Soleil,
be CG1
and the
over A
world-renowned
in your
Alvin
music.
Ailey
Bless you.
Dance Theater.
For me, it is very important to not only have a diverse and cultural, organization, but to also give the opportunity for people of color to experience dance in its highest form.
Contemporary West Dance Theater educates and helps to advance multicultural artists. The group performs work of
Minute
top
30.
choreographers like Ulysses
Out
Dove,
cue, it's dance.
Milton Myers, and now Gaddis' own.
When you pulled your leg around into second, you want to make sure that new music is that ding.
Company member Zoe Sloan has been dancing since she was 2. Her movement came naturally because her mother, Lana Love, was one of the only black showgirls on the Las Vegas Strip during the 80s and 90s.
She was in Jubilee, she was in Aladdin, Emerald City. She was that little chocolate thing.
No more
Gaddis
supers.
was another influence.
1 minute.
I cried when he was dancing because I felt the pain that he was projecting. And at that moment then I was like, man, I want to be a part of this.
Contemporary blends ballet and modern dancing, giving Sloan wings.
Hold and.
I feel like I'm flying. When you're on stage, you could channel all your sadness or all your anger or happiness or like any emotion that you are trying to pursue through that. And you could go from all the
30
way to
seconds.
your fingers to your toes and you just get this burst of adrenaline. It's life-changing.
This diverse performing arts company strives to move people.
Bernard, he sees who you are really and he wants you to be the
15.
better person for yourself.
Every city has a heartbeat, and the
10
heartbeat is
seconds.
always its people.
Step by 2 on Bianca's mic.
And
T's
in
is
that
next.
heartbeat, there is a rhythm,
5 seconds.
and through that rhythm, it's dance.
Mike Bianca, dissolve to 2.
Still ahead.
Pull 2, bring in your
Supporting each
music,
other
stand by
and
8.
the community. How
And
this
dissolve
team
to
is
8.
stepping and clapping its way towards
by
unity
Black.
and racking up awards along the way. We'll be right back.
Killer Mike. And 219, 1219. 1219.
Nice package and nice block. I said nice package and nice block.
Right, she'll be at verts 1 and 2. Okay. No bump, no bump. Jared, you can play that tease music here at the top as a stinger. Thank you. So no bump. Straight up to camera 3 with Bianca's mic and your music. I'll have her name CG1.
It's Belyeza. Belyeza. Mary Jane Belyeza. Yeah.
Okay. Stand her by. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade up, my cue.
Welcome back. One local dance team is navigating through
Stand
the
by,
pandemic
package in
with the
B.
community
We'll go with.
involvement and with each other. They were also recently honored at the Martin Luther King Jr. Day Breakfast Awards ceremony. Mary Jane Beliza shares the priceless diamonds, that's their
Okay.
name,
Go to
and
black.
how they're
We'll
making
do
their
that
way
again.
through
Let's
this.
do that one more time. Belyeza. Belyeza. Think yay, like yay, happy. Belyeza. Me too.
All right. One more time. Stand her by. And in. Out. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade up, my cuer.
Welcome back. One local dance team is navigating their way through the pandemic with community involvement
Stand
and
by,
each other.
package in
They
B.
were
We'll go
also
with.
recently honored at the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Awards ceremony. Mary Jane Belieza shares how priceless diamonds, that's their name, they're making their way through the community.
Got black.
She got the name right.
Yeah. Okay. Tracy's going to change the script real quick.
I changed it in prompter for you too. Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. Stand by. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade up. My cue. Push 3.
Welcome back. One local dance team is navigating their way through the pandemic with community involvement and each other. They were also recently honored at the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Awards ceremony. Mary Jane Bellieza shares the story of the Priceless Diamonds.
And dissolve to B.
Perfect. For the Priceless Diamonds Majorette dance team, every step and every clap shows unity and the power of teamwork. Dance director Melissa Ross started Priceless Diamonds in August 2015.
Kids wanted to dance, so I just involved more kids to come and join when I first started.
Mom Stephanie Felton says the group instantly became a family from the start.
I was literally there with her on the bed when she came up with colors, a name, and her recruitment. And I was in her first studio, actually.
And their talent definitely shows. So far, the team has over 90 trophies, even winning Best Community Dance Group at this year's Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. But Assistant Secretary Mandisha Shanks says COVID-19 has brought on financial struggles, making it hard for them to travel to competitions.
We do ask for donations or sponsorships. It's been real hard over the years because we haven't been able to get them. So it's been coming out of the pockets of the parents and the director.
Amla Dawn Sears says it hasn't been easy, but is proud of everything they've accomplished so far.
People, go and come, and kids growing up on the team since they was like real little.
20 seconds
Priceless
left.
Diamonds isn't slowing down
supers.
anytime soon. Even through this pandemic, the team credits their brotherhood, sisterhood, and perseverance to get them through any challenge they face.
Everybody be like, how you do it? God.
5 seconds.
God.
Stand by.
Mary Jane Bellieza, live, local now.
Mike Bianca, dissolve to 3, push 3.
Turning to another art,
Stand
the
by.
art
Bo
of
and
music.
C will go
Grammy
with.
Award-winning songwriter Curtis Mayfield left his mark in musical history, and now his son is working to make a movie out of his father's story.
Dissolve to C.
Mayfield's lyrics were unique, resonating with the tumultuous times of the 60s. As war was raging in Vietnam and the civil rights movement brewing in the U.S., his music became the anthem for the movement. Oftentimes, it was so controversial that many radio stations refused to play his records. Mayfield's life is reflected in more than 800 songs he wrote throughout his career. Among them, the 1970 multi-million-dollar selling soundtrack for the blaxploitation film Superfly.
Push 2, dissolve.
So who doesn't love a good cup of coffee? I know I do.
You
may have seen this brand, Black and Bold, on store shelves. And there's a message in the grind. Pernell Cesar and Rod Johnson launched the brand, and now roast, pack, and ship it to retailers across the country. Since launching in 2018, the pair have sold more than 275,000 bags and signed on with major retailers, including Whole Foods, Target, and Amazon.
And wipe to sound and
Black and Bold, it is a double entendre. So it represents the contents, the products that are in the bag, black coffee, black tea, bold flavoring, but it also represents Pernell and I as entrepreneurs, as people, right?
20 seconds left.
Black men who are on a bold journey to make a real difference. The shift in the national conversation has really
10
brought
seconds.
more
by
people
Bianca's mic.
into our ecosystem, and we're hoping that we do
5
right
seconds.
now that we have their attention with something that's embedded in their daily ritual.
Mike and Q Bianca.
5% of their profits are given to programs for at-risk youth across the country.
Dissolve to 3, pull 3,
Stay
bring in
with
your
us.
music.
Just ahead, a look at how crucial of a role mothers played in the civil rights movement.
Killer Mike. And fade to black. Mike and Cure.
So we've long heard about the great civil rights activists Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, but have you ever stopped to think about their mothers? Reporter Christy Gross has the story.
Sound B, dissolved.
I got excited about the concept of telling the story of the woman before the man.
When Anna Maleka Tubbs began looking into the mothers of some of the most notable civil rights icons, she found their influence, activism, and contributions to history largely ignored.
The more I found out, it was so obvious that there were direct connections between each of the sons'
This
works
tease, I'm going
and
to kill
their
the video and
mother's
just do a quick
passions, their mother's
generic,
talents, their mother's experiences.
The scholar and Cambridge University sociology doctoral candidate penned the biography, The Three Mothers, how the mothers of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and James Baldwin shaped a nation, as she became a mother herself. Tubbs says she identified with the women in some ways, as a black woman, and as the wife of former Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs.
I so often in my own personal experiences was referred to as the woman behind the great man, which I really didn't find to be a compliment. You know, I'm right there beside him. I'm not behind him. You know, we just have to pay more attention to women of color.
The biography takes readers through the lives of Alberta King, Louise Little, and Bertus Baldwin.
Movements do not just pop out of nowhere. They don't just start with one person. It's a part of this generational passing of knowledge.
This is our hope. Time has changed.
It is occurring all over the globe.
Tubbs believes the role three women played in the civil rights movement has been all but erased from history.
We often talk about Malcolm X's father being an organizer, but it is a complete crime to erase the fact that his mom was also an organizer. And even after her husband is murdered by a white supremacist group, she continues her activism.
In the book, she lays out how each woman influenced their famous sons, who we still revere today.
And I even have letters in the book where Malcolm X thanks his mother for everything that she taught him and his activism and his approach to Black freedom.
Scholar, activist, wife, and mother, Anna Malika Tubbs hopes her book will inspire others to flesh out the contributions of other women who have been relegated to the footnotes of history.
I do think that erasure and this kind of disregard of our lives has much more to do with how we value women of color generally in our society, and it's something that I'm hoping can continue to change.
Mike, Bianca, push 3, dissolve to 3.
Now, from strong mothers to strong families, one woman has made it her life's work to showcase black families after she says they're often misrepresented. Here's a story from our sister station in Iowa.
And dissolve to C.
Okay, you ready?
241 package.
1, 2.
Out cue each other.
And shooting.
When Keisha Ward points her camera,
oh, y'all look good.
It's hard not to smile.
They love it, I love it, and it just makes the work that I do so much more easier. Okay, my love.
It's behind the lens at her studio in Valley Junction where her purpose comes into focus.
I love to capture the intimacy behind the camera. I love to capture the lovingness that happens between families, between couples.
Supers.
She's snapped thousands of photos capturing precious moments.
For the
That's
tease.
how I like to refer to myself.
Again, no video for the tease. Will be a reader with a slow pull and your music.
We're getting a little tight on time, so I shortened this tease to just a straight on camera.
That are focused on blackness.
Highlighting what it means to be black and proud. From black women empowerment to motherhood and boldness.
It was also about empowering. It was about knocking the stigma away, you know, and things like that, and making them feel comfortable and for folks to see that.
She believes celebrating black love is worth capturing too. It's why the Finleys are stepping in front of the camera.
And it almost feels like black love isn't the norm, but I think it is more normal than we think. And it's because we don't see it commonly that a lot of people don't think it exists, but we're here.
They say representation of couples who look like them in the media can sometimes be seen as stereotypical, dysfunctional, even broken. Not enough showcasing a love that can last.
I graduated from high school 30 years ago. He was at my high school graduation.
The Williams are recreating their love story after 30 years of friendship.
We've been friends a long time, and we've celebrated our black love for a long time, and that's really what it is. It's our glue, and we don't make apologies for that.
That's why with every shot,
it feels powerful.
30 seconds.
Every angle.
Out cue each other.
I think gives people a lot of hope that it can happen for them.
Like both of you have natural smiles.
20
and joy.
seconds.
Is a picture that tells a much bigger story.
You think of not just black love, but strong black love, successful black love.
10
and I don't mean
seconds. Stand by 3 and Bianca's mic and your music.
Financially, right? I mean
5 seconds. Stand
in
by.
communication, successful in the way you love on each other.
Mike, Bianca, dissolve to 3. Bring your music. Pull
Climbing
3.
the ladder of
Stand by
opportunity.
black.
That's next.
And fade to black. 301. Okay.
Yeah, what you got?
Okay. Should be okay.
2.5. It's true. Hey, listen, we've got 3:01 left on the clock. I've got this down to 3:04, so just read me quick and we should be fine. Heck yeah, and then don't even get me started about, like, it was just tough to even have the staff to get stories for this.
Perfect. All right, so no bump. Straight up to camera 2 with Bianca's mic and your stinger music.
We're getting it done, though.
I'll have her name. All right, stand her by. Stand by. Okay. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade up. My cue. Push 2.
Finally tonight, honoring our African-American first
Stand by.
responders.
Package in B.
Meet the McIntyres.
Dissolve to B.
You know how some days things just magically seem to go your way?
From TikTok
243
to Instagram
package.
and YouTube, life with the McIntyres certainly has its fun and fabulous moments.
Let me back out to 2 for the
The
good
couple who
night.
initially made their name on social
have some
media is
music going
quickly
to black.
becoming a picturesque example
We'll have your
of a
copyright.
family for major companies. The duo made of wife Shantae, a full-time influencer, and husband Michael, who spends most of his time away from the camera in front of a different type of bright light.
And I make sure that we get to calls safe.
McIntyre works as an engineer for the Fresno Fire Department.
The engine would come screaming down the street.
But not seeing a face that looked like him gave him doubts.
Being a kid from Inglewood, I didn't think that that was a possibility for me.
After playing college basketball, he started to think about a career. It was firefighting. In 2005, he got his shot. McIntyre understands the gravity of what it means for the community to see him in a uniform.
There's been times where I've been out on a fire or even at the store. We go to the store, we grocery shop, and I will be walking past somebody, and usually like it's an older black woman or black man, and they would look at me and they'll give me the head nod like.
Fellow firefighters like DeAndre Douglas may have had a less public face, but the motivation to join was just as valiant. Raised in Clovis, he recalled being inspired to protect his community after seeing firefighters on 9/11.
There were people running into that building to help those people while people were trying to get out.
If it's a commercial structure,
no more
I'm gonna pull this
supers.
big 1 3/4 line.
Duties
1
that
minute.
he's carried out during his 14-year-long career. Douglas recalls not seeing a firefighter that
black
looked like him
firefighter.
until later in life.
Well, I was an adult when I saw my first black firefighter.
Several black
just tell her
firefighters
bye
from
and
his
then go to
family's
the
church
copyright.
heard of his interest and reached out to him to help him through the process. For Captain Willie Johnson, service had always been a family business. His dad served in the military, and his son now works for the LA County Sheriff. He recalls his first exposure to the
30
field
seconds.
one
We'll
summer
be
when he worked
out
with a
to camera
wildland fire
2
crew.
with music.
The most fun I had
Go to
being
your
miserable
copyright.
because growing up we didn't go camping.
He still remembers the moment he got the call.
Don't play with me. I just want you to know I want to scream right now, but I'm sitting at my desk, so I can't. But I am very happy, trust me, I'm happy for this offer, yes.
Still excited nearly
10
2 decades
seconds.
later,
Stand by
he is
camera
now
2.
the example
Quick
for
goodbye,
the next generation.
Stand
I'm
by.
walking to a fire, and there's these 2 little kids standing there, and one of them just starts hitting his buddy. He's like, oh my
Stand
God,
by.
we got black firefighters.
Mike Bianca, dissolve to 2.
What a
Bring in
great
your
story.
music,
Thanks
sound
for staying
clips.
with us. I'm Bianca Holman. Good night.
And dissolve.
Really nice job, guys. Thank you.